All right, good morning, folks. Can everyone hear me? Because we're just about ready to get started here. Let's make sure that we have everyone thumbs up, yes, something, that kind of thing. We're good to go. Taylor. Yep. All right. All right, here we go. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for another weekly, or not weekly, monthly sales meeting. This month, we're in a very interesting time right now going into the summer. There's lots of things going on, but luckily we have Lisa, who's here going to be here to speak with us today. So camera's there, mic's there, right there, that kind of thing. So, but Lisa's going to be talking. Lisa's with Discovery Inspections, and we really love them. They do a phenomenal job. I love that they don't scare the daylights out of our clients. But she's going to be here to talk to us about marketing, because one of the things and one of the reasons why I'm most excited about Lisa working or coming to speak with us and work with us today is that, right now the market it's a shift and things are going on. And a lot of times, some of the first things that we do is we stop marketing. We stop doing the things that are really important for us to do right now. And marketing is definitely one of those. So Lisa, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, and thanks for the introduction. I am Lisa from Discovery Inspections. We are out of Fayette County, but we do serve all of Georgia. So we definitely can be serving your clients, and we're excited to do so. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, so we're excited about that too. But one of the things that we enjoy at Discovery Inspections is watching you guys grow. So we want to see your successes or our successes. Obviously, if you guys are doing transactions, hopefully you're using us as inspection company. So I love marketing. That's my job at Discovery Inspections. And one reason why I love marketing is because I love people, and I love actually the real estate industry. And I do get and understand where that's going and how you have to shift your mind. So when the pandemic happened a couple of years ago, we had to shift our mindset. We did not say, well, it's a pandemic and I'm just going to sit home and do nothing. At that point, we sat back and said, let's make a plan. This is what's happening. Let's make a plan. And we call that a shift. We shift our way of doing things. A shift in the market, we got to shift our ways too. So if you've ever taken one of my classes, one of the favorite quotes on there is that if you stop marketing to save money, it's like stopping your watch to save time. It's just not, hello, come on in. It's just not a good thing. You don't stop marketing because the industry is shifting a different way. Actually, you shift your marketing is how that goes. You shift your mindset. So this is a good time to do that. Several times a year, you should be checking yourself. And one would be now, right before now summer is starting. So what are you going to do in the summer, the next 10 weeks in the summertime for your business? And then again, you shift yourself again in the fall. And of course, it all goes from different things. What's going on in your own life? Maybe you're taking lots of vacations this summer. Maybe you have family members or something going on in your household that takes a precedent, but also, what's going on in the market. So if you don't do that, I know Alan and Ming is awesome with that if you're just always investigating in the industry, always looking at what's going on, always keep yourself afloat, talk to your lenders and find out about interest rates and what's going on in the field. And then also touching your database, what's going on with your people. Do you have a lot of graduates? If there's a lot of graduates, they might be thinking of, they're empty nesters, woo-woo, now they're thinking of moving on to a different home. Maybe they're downsizing. Maybe they want to do investments. You have to know your people, know your database. So this is a good time of year just to sit back for a second and kind of figure out where you're going in the summer, make a plan. If you guys owned a pizza place, if you owned a nail salon next door and you're a business owner in that respect, you'd be doing the same thing. You'd be saying summertime is our busiest time or summertime is our low time. This is what we need to do to shift our mindset to succeed during those times. So I challenge you to do that. Sit back and say, what's going on this summer with yourself, with your family, with your business, and your database. So in order to find that out, you might need social media. You might need to look at that and say, that's what I use social media for. Many people are like, I'm not using social media. Well, you're using it for the gossip. You're looking to see what's going on with your database. And if you're not friends, Facebook friends or Instagram friends with your sphere of influence, your database, do so. Do so. They should all be part of that. So you can have a glimpse into their lives. So you can find out, hey, someone graduated, someone passed away, their dog died, they're struggling, they're sick, and then that's when you step in and you do those care calls, you give out a card, you give a gift if it was something good happening. Father's Day is coming up Friday. There's nothing to say you can't call up the new fathers in your database. Give them a call and say, congratulations, you're a new father, it's your first Father's Day, or give even a card, or one is a good grant for new grandpa. Those are fun kind of calls to do. So those are the things you need to kind of check yourself at this time and kind of make a plan and look at your database and figure out what's going on with them. Now, to step it forward, we all want more listings, right? There's a shift in the market. We know that. You know what the outside world knows? Nothing but what the media is telling them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's probably not all true, right? So we have the truth, and we bottle it up and just talk among ourselves like it's a big secret. We're such secret agents out there. We are secret agents, and so we want everyone to know we're realtors, but we want no one to know about it because we sit home and do nothing about it. Right? Right? Except for there's an email. We hide behind our emails. Those are awesome. Here, we don't need to fix our hair with emails. So we're good about emails. But we all know with emails, I haven't checked my emails yet. And some of them get buried. And, some of them just don't even look at it yet. So that is just, if you were to, the 7 levels of communication talks about that's just the bottom of the triangle is to communicate through an email. It's the bottom. That's the least you could do. It's like saying hello to someone like, hey, and just keep on walking. That's the least you could do is acknowledge a person. That's all you're doing with an email. Beyond that, you have to do more. You have to do more in your business than just send out emails. And if you're not even doing that, at least do that. At least say hello somehow, and then go beyond. But to make plans for the summer, if that's something that you're feeling like it's a shift going on, let your database know, let your sphere of influence know, maybe through an email, through a handout, through a phone call saying things are changing. This is happening. This is the truth. If you were all financial advisors and the market is crashing, you'd want that phone call from your financial advisor saying, this is happening to your money. What should we do with this? You guys are their advisors too. You're their realtor. You're the person, you're the person that kind of should be guiding them in their, finances of real estate. Is it a good time to invest? Is it a good to flip? Is it a good time to downsize? Is it a good time to upsize? Is it a good time? Those things they need to know. Is it good enough to renovate my home? These are questions I hear in the outside world. And what all they do is turn on Channel 2 News, and that's where they get their information from. And we all know where that gets them. So be the subject matter expert. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means you need to do research. Means you need to know your stuff, right? And I do suggest don't know your stuff by sitting at home in your living room. Go into the cafe, local cafe, go to a social place and sit there. Brand yourself. Let people know you're a realtor. Don't be a secret agent. Brand yourself and sit there in the corner, have a cup of coffee and look through the market thing. Use Ming and Alan as your guide. They're knowledgeable. Ask them questions, ask your lender friends questions, your inspector friends questions, and then acknowledge yourself, make yourself knowledgeable, and then come up with something to kind of communicate that with your database. Communicate it either through social media, through email, through a phone call, do a seminar, do a talk. I mean, you can go as big as you want, do a Zoom thing, start a YouTube channel and talk about it. But be your subject matter expert. Many of you are secret agents. We don't know who you are. And that's why my class with on your markets that go is standing out of that crowd. And if you've taken my class, this is 29,411 realtors in the state of Georgia. 29,000. And that's like last year's number. I'm sure this year's even more. Here in Fayette County, and you guys all have different counties, is 1,000. More than 1,000 just here. And our neighbor, Coweta, is probably another 800 or so. Look how many competitors you have. right? And they're secret agents. I should be like bombarded everywhere I see. I should see something that someone's a realtor. You know, your car should be labeled, your name tag, you should be wearing your swag, hats, or whatever. You should let people know you're a real estate agent. And if you ever had someone say to you, oh, I just sold my house, I just put it on a listing, I forgot that you are a real estate agent. We've all gone through that. I forgot.
Who's that on that? What's on you?
That's on you 100%. 100%. Even if they went with someone else, you didn't put yourself, I always blame myself when numbers are low, I blame myself. What am I doing? I spoke to Alan about that. What am I doing that I should be doing differently? And we all could check ourselves. What can I do? It's like, oh, I slacked on this, or I'm being lazy on that, or I know I should do it. You guys know, you're just not doing it. You guys know, I know what I should be doing. I'm just not doing it, so kick yourselves up, kick yourself in the butt now in the summertime and do it. Don't be making it that this is the time to relax. Like I said before, when the times are tough, when you save money on marketing, it's like saving time by stopping your watch. It's silly. So pick that up. I do have a group called On Your Market Set Go on Facebook, and it's a social media group specifically just for marketing ideas. So, and I try to be it diverse. I know there's some people who like to do lumpy mail, other people like to do more social stuff, social media ideas. So go to that on social media and I'll make sure that you enter. There's about 615 agents on there. And I say that because I challenge you guys to make your own groups. Make your own social media group, make your own Facebook page. Well, you do have that, your own YouTube channel. And by doing that is by creating your subject matter expert, and you're telling your sphere of influence, you're telling your database what's going on. And they're going to look for you, and you're constantly top of mind when you do something like that. So a group on Facebook is just that. It's a small group of people that's nobody of your competitors. It's just your database. You control who's on there, and you are now controlling that page. And again, don't be a secret agent. You got to post like every other day. You got to post about something to those people. You have to feed them. You have to feed them. And then the YouTube channel as well. If you want to go beyond that, do what Ming and Alan does, but to your people, and make it a video and put it on YouTube. Get over yourselves. You're a business owner now, and do that. And then have a YouTube channel and be that face. Stand out from the crowd. Okay.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what kind of value can discovery bring to us?
Oh, okay. We'll talk about discovery now.
This is your chance.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about discovery inspections. If you do a business with us, well, there's many values to us, but if you do business with us, just to tie it in back to marketing, we help you market. So we have a Cricut like you do. We have steam machines, and we have machines to make slates and such. We want to help you market. So if you have a team and you want to put your face on something, or you want to make mugs or cups and things like that sort, we help our top producers. You come our way, I'll be happy to sit down and do it. I've made little cups and etched names in it for clients and such, because we want to help you. So I'll help you market in that respect. I also can help you market and use your vendors on this. If there were things such as like discovery inspections, we do mold. We have the mold man here in one of the offices today. We know them well, but we test for mold. We'll do indoor air quality, and if you have a client that is saying, I'm not feeling well and suffering or whatever, and you say, have you checked your house for mold? And then you recommend us, let's just say, or do we have a special? We can actually make a flyer with your logo on, and then make sure that goes out to your database. You don't know what to tell them? Tell them there's a special on mold, or there's a special with radon. Or did you know my landscaper has a special? Did you know that there's a warranty special going on? Use your vendors and advertise. We'd appreciate it. We'll advertise for you if you advertise for us, kind of thing, and go out to your database and let them know that there's products out there. We do sanitization. Did you know that? We sanitize homes.
I don't even know what sanitization means.
I know it's hard to say. I don't even know how to spell it, right? But we have an ozone machine that goes in the home, and that came about through COVID, that it start fresh. That's how we say, just start your home fresh. So they get out of their home, they have it professionally cleaned. Now we'll sanitize it. So if you have someone in your database who's been sick a lot or their family's been sick a lot, let us sanitize your home. It doesn't have to be empty. Adrian, yeah, it does not have to be empty, the home. You could be sanitizing everything to surface, then you start fresh until someone coughs in your house, but but you start fresh until you breathe, but you start out with all the germs getting out, of the home. So we have services like that. We have our radon service, and we give free radon to screening to all realtors that give us business.
Oh, wow. That's a win.
Yeah, so I mean, if we can do it to your home too, so we should take you up on that.
All right, what's the price range for those?
It's $199, $199, and it actually takes out odor as well. So if you have a house that has smoke or pet odor, that takes the odor away.
Take some of it away.
Well, if we could put there 8 hours, it'll take most of it away.
But some of those houses that like smoking, like you move the
paint,
pictures and
that's
there's
true.
squares.
Yeah,
in the
well.
walls. There's nothing you're gonna do to take that out of it.
We can maybe do 80% of that.
Yeah.
The rest of it might still be there. Yeah. Yeah. I actually had a rental home like that. We used the ozone machine like 3 times. And I think finally we got it. We had to do it 3 times, but it's $199.
Okay.
Yeah, for that. But yes, we're a full service inspection company. We also offer a 90-day warranty. So with all our inspections, it's a 90-day warranty, but we also offer a 5-year roof warranty. So if your roof leaks and within 5 years, we take care of that.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. That's another biggie.
Cool.
So thank you for the opportunity
Thank you.
to show everyone how amazing Discovery
Okay,
is.
well,
Thank you, everyone.
All right, I'm not dancing. So, thank you. Very good. All right. Yeah, you're not gonna see a curtsy out of me, I'm afraid. So, thank you very much. All right, I kind of want to jump in and I've got a lot of market data that I want to kind of go over about what's happening in the market and what's going on right now. So we have a lot of buyer and seller attitudes right now. Right now, as far as, a recent poll out there said, is it a good time to buy? 17% says it's a good time to buy. 79% say it's a bad time to buy right now. As such, mortgage applications are down 7% from last week and down 21% from last year. So, how's the market? How's real estate?
It's wonderful.
Yeah, all right. Everybody just got real quiet, right? Now it puts you on the spot. But understand that when you reach out to your clients and when you're talking to your clients, that's going to be the question. How's the market? What's going on? How are things? Now, we also have to understand kind of where we're at, right? Right now, Americans seem angry about everything. I don't care if it's politics. I don't care if it's the economy, jobs. We got some of the best jobs data ever, and we're still angry about jobs, right? So, we have high inflation. So right now, Americans are just a little bit, I'm going to go with pessimistic at the moment kind of thing for a lot of different things right now. And we're going to talk about some of those things. But instead of what I really want to do, is I want to start showing you, like real information. And do you have a market-driven opinion about where we're going? Like, is your opinion based on facts, or is your opinion based on what we're seeing on the news? On, are you part of the group that's just a little angry right now? Look, I mean, no one, like, you go to the gas pump and you come away and you are not a happy camper. Like I can pretty much drive over anything but a gas station right now because I get terrible gas mileage. So, I'm always angry at the gas pump. But a lot of times we let our emotions get the best of us as opposed to what's really happening in the market. Does that make sense? So what I want you guys to look at is what's really happening in our market, because we are there are changes. There are things that are happening in our marketplace that's going to affect our businesses and what we're doing. We need to be able to look at these realistically about what's happening. So what I did was I pulled up, this is data directly from Georgia MLS and FMLS. And I pulled the slides up together because I wanted you to see that this is relevant Georgia information right now. So first one is, this is our number of new listings going on. And so you can see what's in the red bar. This is from Georgia MLS, and the blue bar is last year. So are we starting to see a slight uptick in the number of listings coming on the market? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, you with me here?
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, though, you look at look at the FMLS data, because the FMLS data, instead of just showing this year versus last year, I like to do the whole compare contrast thing. So we do see that the number of listings is trending up, correct? But does that look different than the year before or the year before? Yes. Not a whole lot. If you look, we ramp up more listings and then we taper back down.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of what we're seeing in some, right now, all the talking heads are always going to be watching any kind of cycles right now. Like if you watch, and we're going to talk about foreclosures here in a minute, but you'll see people talking about, hey, foreclosures are higher than they have been in 4 years. Again, it might be true, but it's like this much. And I'll show you that kind of data. And same kind of thing when you look at this. Are we seeing a slight uptick in inventory? Yes. Now, is that going to continue all the way through the fall? I think that we are, but when you look at where our inventory levels really stand versus prior year, that kind of thing, the inventory is still really, really tight. How about the total number of active listings? So you can see the red represents this past 12 months. The blue represents the total number of listings that we had last year. So we are starting to get more listings, but look how many more listings we had this time last year and going into it. Like historically, we are at some of the lowest inventory levels of all time. I mean, this is back, the total number of listings that we had was somewhere around 27,000 listings. Right now, we're somewhere around 13,000 from where we were in 2019. So we're about half right now. So yes, inventory is increasing. And as inventory increases, what's probably going to happen? Supply versus demand. We have more supply, so demand will wane a little bit. So prices are going to start leveling off. That's really what we're looking at here. So, this right here, this shows our sold plus our total actives. Now you can't take into account this last month because we're not done with this month here. So that number is not really there. So don't look at that. But if you look, what is our trend of our total active listings doing? No, up. The total number, we're starting to get a little bit more inventory. And praise Jesus, we've needed some more inventory, right? So I don't want, immediately, it's been so crazy over the last week. I keep hearing folks, it's like, the market's going to crash. Like we've been begging for, how many years have we been begging for inventory now? If you represent buyers, has this been a great time to be in? No, it's been completely lopsided. So to see that we are starting to have a slight uptick in inventory, we should be thankful. We should not be doom and gloom. Y'all with me? All right. Now, how about our pending listings? Now, this is the one this one does show a little bit of concern here. So you can see, like on FMLS, you can see the total we're seeing where pending sales are trending down. All right, even up here. Now we don't count this month because we're in it, but you can see the last month trended down pretty significantly. Is that normal for heading into the spring, summer buying season? No. So we are seeing transactions that are a little bit slower. So how about the actual closed listings? If that was pending, that's what's coming up. Our number of closed sales are slightly under last year. You can see that we've kind of been trending that way throughout the past, not just the past 3 months, because everybody wants to say it's been happening for the last 3 months. But if you look, it wasn't until a year ago that we actually were over prior year. The entire last 12 months, we've had less number of transactions than we had every month last year. So 6 months ago, was anybody talking about the market slowing down? Things are getting different. No, it's only when interest rates went up that we started talking about that. All right. So now the last slide we looked at was the number of transactions. Now we're looking at the dollar amount of transactions. Now we saw the number of transactions is down, right? How about the dollar amount of transactions? It's up because our house is more expensive this year than they were last year. So even though we are, even though we're seeing a slight reduction in the number of closed sales, because our median sale price is higher, we're ending up with a wash to even on the positive side on total dollar amount. Now, does that matter to us as realtors? Well, how do we get paid? Do we get paid by the number of transactions, or do we get paid based on a percentage of sale price for most of us?
Percentages.
So is that good for us?
Yes.
All right, y'all with me here, right?
Yes.
All right. So you can see the dollar amount is actually looking pretty good on that side of things. And this is what I was talking about when I said, do you really know your numbers? You know, we can all feel very pessimistic about the market and not really realize, look, things ain't looking real rough here, guys. Matter of fact, I'm glad to see some inventory coming into our marketplace. Our days on market, right? When we see rising inventory, we should see higher days on market, right? Wrong. Well, it doesn't, well, but you know, what this says to me and how I read this is there's still a lot of demand. Good properties are going fast. All right. So even though, we are under last year, which was one of the lowest year that we had some of the lowest days on market ever last year. And you can see our trend has been under last year every single month throughout the past year. If you look at our trend where we were, you know, look at days on market back here, pre-COVID versus now. So again, it's going to be, you know, our normal economic conditions are going to impact us, supply versus demand. There's still a lot of demand on here, or else our days on market would really be shooting up. Now, the other benefit we have is we're in the middle of spring, summer buying season right now. I mean, it's hot, right? So close to hell, you can see the sparks. We are hot, but the summer is a great season for us on that. So we talked about this earlier and said, or I kind of brought it up. Our foreclosure is going to be coming into our marketplace. Are we going to have more foreclosures? But you can see this is the total number of foreclosures in Georgia MLS right here. Because you know, there was recently several articles talking about the foreclosure rates and what's happening in foreclosure. And so it depends on how you look at it. But what I want you to look at is from a very holistic approach. And so this is the forbearance. These are the number of people that are behind in their mortgages. What do y'all see? So that's from the beginning of the pandemic to now. Is it going up at all? No, no. How about our foreclosure activity? The number of foreclosures that we have, not just lower than, of course, it's lower than back in 2007, 2008, but it's at its lowest level ever. We've never had this low of foreclosure activity. And think about it a little bit just from the common sense point of view, right? The vast majority of our folks are not upside down in their properties.
Correct.
So why would they let their property go to foreclosure?
Maybe lost a job or a family member died.
Well, they could do that, but wouldn't they sell?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have equity is what I'm saying. And so, you know, the days of the REO markets and those kind of things coming out, we, you know, there was a study that said if, you know, all the seriously in default properties were to suddenly go on the market today, it would only add 11 days of inventory across the US. So this is not a big deal. So when we start talking about that, I mean, if you go up to, you know, from 78,000 to 85,000 next month, what are they going to say? Foreclosure is increasing. Yeah, okay. It's still it's drastically low. Right now, the vast majority, because we've had such great price appreciation. If you bought a home 12 months ago in Georgia, how much more is the average home worth today than it was 12 months ago? $63,000. Just based on appreciation across the state of Georgia, the average appreciation for the median price home in the state of Georgia was $63,000. So if they had their home a year ago, how much more is their home worth today than it was a year ago? $63,000. Why would you go into foreclosure? Right. You follow me here, right? So there is no like this hidden inventory that these REOs coming on the market. They're not there. So just kind of understand that's exactly where we're at right now. What it is about though is mortgage rates.
Yeah.
All about mortgage rates. So you can see for the month we're averaging 5.09. We're at a 5.23 for this particular week. So is that terrible?
Well,
Our mortgage rate's bad.
no, not compared to electric.
We're spoiled. You know, I mean, is a 3% rate normal?
No.
I couldn't even believe we got to 3%. You know, I'm old. I got that. And you know, like our first house was like, or my parents' first house was like at 14%, and they were really thankful. You know, we had an 8.5, we had a 7.5. Thought we were hot stuff. You know, having a 7.5% mortgage kind of thing. So you know, the 3% days, they were really nice, but that was really artificial.
Yeah.
This is where our mortgage rates have been for the last 50 years. So at a current rate of 5.09, which is our monthly average, we'll probably end up about 5.15 for the month. How do we rate versus the last 40, 50 years? We're not in bad shape, but folks get used to it, right? And it does impact our buyers. I'm not trying to say it doesn't impact our buyers, but there's always, anytime that we go through market shifts, there's knee-jerk reactions that go on. Everyone thinks that they can buy at 3%, and then they get used to how much home they can afford at 3%. Now the rates are 5%. That's a different ballgame. It takes a little bit of time to get used to that and understanding it. And there's also a little bit of, it's going to go back down. It's going to go back down. Are the rates going back down? I don't see it happening. I really don't. I'd like to see it happening, but I don't think it will. So for the last 50, 60 years, the 30-year mortgage rate is tied directly to the 10-year treasury. Why does that matter? Why do we need to know that it's tied to the treasury? Anybody? Well, like the Fed is going to be meeting tomorrow, and they're probably going to be raising the federal funds rate by a 0.5 point to 3/4 of a point. There's a chance they could go with an entire point raise. Does that impact mortgage rates?
Yes.
No.
No, that's what I said.
Well, but look, our mortgage rates are based on the 10-year treasury. Now, over time, that can affect it. But what really happens with it, and the reason that the markets can affect what happens to mortgage rates, is it's all about the stock market. When the stock market becomes really volatile, things are going crazy. A very safe place to put your money is into treasuries, AKA the 10-year treasury. When a lot of people buy treasuries, what happens to the price? It goes up. When they go up, what happens to the mortgage rates? They go up. So we're going to experience higher mortgage rates because of market volatility and because of people moving in the 10-year treasury, much more so than whatever happens tomorrow when the Fed rates the fund rate, because that's not tied to mortgages. The other thing I want to kind of point out here is for the last 50 years, the point spread, the average spread between the 10-year treasury and the U.S. mortgage rate is a 1.7. So the treasury rate is generally 1.7% less. However, we have been running ever since the beginning of this year at a 2.2% margin. So we are running at a higher spread. The lenders have been hedging bets. So we, I look at interest rates are running about a 0.5 point higher than they really should be, based on where we are historically, based on the 10-year treasury. So is that good or bad news, knowing that this has good potential to start leveling off as the year goes on? It's good. Now, with everything happening in the market, is the market going to go like this? Like yesterday, for example, right? And when that does, people move into treasuries. So we're going to see interest rates bounces. We are absolutely going to see interest rate bouncing around kind of thing. But long term, we should be able to see a little bit of softening on our mortgage rates going throughout the course of the year. Good news or bad news? So we got a little bit more inventory coming up. Interest rates are probably going to be volatile, but should kind of soften to flatten in that same range in there, even though the federal funds rate, all the news is all going to be about the federal funds rate. Everybody thinks everything's tied to federal funds rate. Mortgages aren't. Your car loan is, credit cards, that kind of stuff is tied to it. How does rising interest rates impact housing? I showed this a while back. I just want to kind of refresh this really quick. This is when mortgage rates jump by more than 1% for the past 20-something years, 30 years almost. So what happens to the number of home sales? They go down. The number of home sales goes down when interest rates jump up, right? What happens to dollar amounts? What happens to property values during those same times? Thanks for asking. Good job. Yes. This is the same corresponding graph with this is what happens to property values. Now, we talked about it earlier, and we're seeing it right now, right? Our transaction count's lower. Our dollar amount's higher. This is the exact same thing happening that we see happening right here. So on all these other instances, that's what happened to home prices when interest rates went up. So is the housing market going to crash?
No.
Are y'all following me here? Because like again, starting back off to the very beginning when I said, what is important? Do we have the data we need to be able to speak intelligently? Are we speaking based on facts, or are we speaking based on we're just all a little bit angry? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Good. So how about if we go into recession? Recession going to be bad for us? Well, recession is 2 quarters where the GDP drops, right? We had 1 quarter already. So you need 2 quarters. Could we go into a quote unquote recession right now? We could.
Yeah.
This recession is going to be very different than anyone before. Normally with a recession, you have very poor jobs. The jobs market's terrible. How's our jobs market right now? It's off the chain. So jobs are really, really good. So this is a very different kind of recession.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the last 6 recessions that the US had, what happened to property values? We had a drop of 1.9 in 1991. Now we were here in 2007, 2008. Why did property values drop? It was us. We were all Oprah Winfrey of real estate, right? You get a house, and you get a house. If you get a Pulse, you get a house too. We had no lending standards. So if you look at the past recessions, only one other time in the past, 30, 40, 50 years, our property values dropping. So again, you feel a little bit more comfortable. Are you understanding what's going on? We can't just get angry. We have to know what's going on with facts and figures here. Also, I just brought this up, but is lending now like lending was in 2007?
Absolutely.
No way. Seriously, I could get my dog a mortgage, right? We had stated income. I mean, you could pretty much put whatever you got, Mickey Mouse, you could sign almost anything on there. So our standards are really, really tight. If you look at this graph over here on the right, you'll see that the red represents people with credit scores below 620 versus now. So since 2008, can you get a mortgage with a poor credit score? No, since 2008. Yeah, no, you can't, right? So you can see that it's a very, very low percentage. If you go below 620, it's almost non-existent. That's like the cusp anymore. So who is our biggest group of buyers right now? Millennials. So they're 34% of all of our home buyers. 66% of them are first-time home buyers. Is that important to us?
Yes.
Yeah, because that starts the ball rolling, right? We need first-time buyers in our market. But why would millennials be a reason for us to be very optimistic about real estate? Well, what I want you to see is that this right here, this represents where we are right now. That peak right there. The millennial generation is the largest generation in the United States. The millennial generation right now, right here, is reaching 32 years old. What's the first time home buyer age?
33.
33. So what's happening over the next 4 years?
They're coming into the market.
Next 4 years, the largest population group we have in the United States is all reaching first time buyer age. So yes, we have some rising inventory, thank God, because we got people that want to buy. Yes, we absolutely do, right? Let's start off with, we are currently sitting on a deficit of 5.5 million houses in the US. Right now, our builders are building somewhere between 1.2 million and 1.3 million houses a year. So we can build 1.2 million, let's say we build 1.5 million a year. And we got the largest population group coming into town. We have the lowest inventory levels going on. Are we going to be able to supply going to be able to meet demand over the next few years.
No.
So is the housing market going to crash?
No.
Okay, use your facts and figures. Like I don't ever want to be that person that's like, you know, for years people would be like, how's the market? Market's great. How's the market? Market's great. I mean, and I'm not saying that we just kind of throw it out there willy-nilly, but when you look at this, you know, tell me where I'm wrong is what I want to challenge you with. We can be pessimistic all day, but when you really look at the numbers and the facts and the figures, it's very hard to do that then. This is where our showings are. Showing Time puts out a monthly index. Are people interested in owning homes?
Yes.
Is that going drastically down?
No.
You know, look where it's been since the pandemic. Through the roof. So why do we move? So about a third of folks move for a better lifestyle fit, more space, downsize, be closer. About 15% move because it's a good financial investment. About another 35 or so percent, they move because of life events, married, changes of jobs, that kind of stuff. Now, about 11% of our market move because of low interest rates, affordable market, stimulus checks, things like that. Now, of these groups right here, which one's not going to love the market that we're in right now? The one that 10%, right?
Right.
At 10 to 11%. So is there going to be a part of our market that is going to be priced out of this?
Yes.
There is. But how about all these others? How about that other 90, 89% of buyers out there? Is that their reason for it? See, what we can't do is we can't talk ourselves into this market stinks. Like for those of us that have been around since 2007, 2008, I saw a lot of agents that got out of the business. And the reason they got out of the business is because they told themselves how bad things were. And then they believed their own talk. At the same time, we had some of our best years ever in real estate during a down market. And it's all, you know, like either you shove your head in the sand and say, oh, well, we'll just see what happens. We'll just let this wave run over us. Or we can take charge and understand what's happening in the market and prepare ourselves and be very positive about the outlook of what we have going on. Is inflation a big negative right now? Yeah, absolutely. All of our costs, and I don't care if you're talking about core or not, all of them in there kind of thing. I don't know why we track our costs, less food and energy, because I don't know anyone that doesn't eat or drive, right? So, inflation is impacting us all. As a homeowner, is inflation bad? Well, if you have a fixed rate mortgage, did your monthly mortgage increase?
No.
No. How about your property values?
Yes.
So owning a home is a hedge against inflation. And I don't like inflation. I'm not trying to promote inflation. I'm like, woo, inflation. That's not where I'm going with this. But look, this is the reality of where we're at. We want to see it come down. This is where like the Fed's taking that federal funding rate and dropping and raising it by a half point or 3/4 or something like that. This is what they're trying to affect. And that's where hopefully we'll start seeing some of that, because we sure need some easing right there. Now, this is a very interesting slide and I really like it. And I think it's a good thing for us to note. The average consumer is spending an additional $429 every month for items. Average wages rose $212 a month. So on average, the average household in the US, it's costing them about an extra $217 a month. If you break that out on a mortgage, that means that they can afford $42,000 less of a home than they could afford in January of this year. Now, is that an important number for us to know?
Yes.
And it's important for us to know for a couple of different reasons. One is if you had someone looking at 350 in January, where should they be looking right now? Yeah, 310, 300, that kind of stuff, in order so they can still afford that same cost of living, right? So I mean, we got to kind of know that. So, if you've taken folks out looking at houses at 350 and now you start looking at 300, how happy are they? They're not happy, right? So I can understand where the whole get a little bit angry looking at things, and we have a lot of Americans that are frustrated and angry right now. I totally got it. But here's the reality: if you wanted a house, our average buyer right now has $40,000 less in buying power than they had in January and February this year. And so, as Lisa mentioned earlier, that a lot of folks come to us looking to us for housing the way they look to a financial advisor for advice about their money. Is this sound financial advice to give someone who's serious about wanting to get into a home? Because is it better for them to just stay renting right now? Whoo! I mean, if you think property values are bad, look what happened to the rent market.
Yeah.
Because rents are based on property values. So when the property values go up, what happens to rents? They go up the same way too. So it's not like I'll just rent here and save some money. Said no one ever, right? Because renting is not a great place for them. So if you're going to get into the market, and the whole thing in here is that wealth is tied up in home ownership. And so if we care about our communities and we want people to work into that, then it's going to be tied up in owning a home. Now, one thing that we have seen, and I found this very, very interesting. So this is the average conventional purchase mortgage loan size. So back in January, average loan size was $493,000. The average loan size has dropped to $454,000. Does that sound close to a number that we have just recently spoke about? Right around $40,000, right? So we've seen where the American consumer on their own has just stopped spending more than they could afford. I mean, when you put those two numbers together, this slide makes a lot of sense. You can totally understand why would mortgage dollar amounts go down? Well, because we can afford less. And so we have to make sure that we're explaining this to our clients and we're bringing this data to them and can clearly articulate this. This is important for us to be successful as this market shifts. Because are we going through a market shift? Yeah, we see more inventory coming up. So with more inventory coming up, are we going to have more buyers? Yeah, but we need them to be very realistic about what's going on. We sure do. So this is what our estimated home prices are looking to do. They're looking at 2022 ending up at about 9% for this year. Now, we've been running in the double digits all year long. So in order to be at 9%, what's going to have to happen to property values over the last 6 months of the year? They're going to start softening. When that does it, are we going to run around like our head's on fire? No, we shouldn't. Because look, I mean, we're looking at property value appreciation going back to normal. Average property value appreciation runs between 3 to 5% annually for the last 70 something years. 3 to 5% a year. We're moving into that 3 to 5% a year. Should we be like, oh no, the sky is falling? No, we shouldn't, because we're moving back into normal territory. This is what we wanted, right? This is what we actually needed. And so that's what it looks like the path that we're heading down right now. So here's my crystal ball. I look at a number of transactions being down by about 10%. We're already seeing that number being pretty consistent across the board. 10% seems to be, and so that means that you should plan on 10% less transactions this year versus last. Unless, I'm just throwing that out there. You didn't do anything different from this year from last year. It should be a reduction in number of transactions by about 10%. At the same time, we're looking at about a 9% property value increase. What's that mean for the average realtor? A net wash, right? Less transactions, we're going to make more per transaction. Now, doesn't mean that everything's going bad. Look, people still want houses. We see that again and again, even through the pandemic, especially through the pandemic. People still want houses. Our inventory is going to increase slowly. However, our good house is going to go fast. Yeah. If it's priced right and it's in good condition, it's going to go quickly. So the idea of all of a sudden, are we shifting into a buyer's market all of a sudden? Nope, we're not. So it's still a seller's market, but don't go crazy. All right. So like sellers are not going to hold all the cards. Buyers are going to start picking up a few more cards, but they're not going to get all the cards. It's still going to be a seller's market here. For your buyers, we need our buyers to rerun their numbers. We need to make sure that they understand how much they can afford. Our buyers are buying on price or on payment? Payment. But a lot of them got their pre-quals in January, February. Are those realistic about what they can truly afford today? So we need to go get them to rerun those numbers kind of thing. The market, like the financial markets, they're going to be crazy. Interest rates are going to be volatile. You know, we'll probably see interest rates next week jump up and then start tapering back down again. It's going to be like a yo-yo. It really will be, kind of thing. But that's because as more people move out of the stock market into treasuries, that's what's going to drive treasuries. We're looking at property values flattening as the year goes on. And affordability. Affordability is going to be one of those tricky ones for us, because we've already seen our buyers paring down their mortgage purchases. Yes or yes? Come on, wake up.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna say. Are we gonna see buyers spending less?
Yes.
And so what's that gonna do with our mid and our lower tier price listings? It's gonna be, yeah, I expect that we'll start seeing some inventory growing faster in our top tier. Mid tier, not quite so much, and low, you know, anything under 300, how fast is that gonna go? It's still gonna be fast. We gotta understand that. You know, if you look at you know, prior to the COVID, sounding like my grandmother. I got the COVID, but prior to Rona, to the pandemic. Thank you. You know, we had different, you know, for different pricing tiers, had different inventory levels. Had, you know, we almost had a seller's market in the low tier. We had buyer's market at the higher tier. We're going to be going back to that through the pandemic. Everybody, it was a seller's market across the board. It's still going to be a seller's market heavily under 300. From 3 to 550, it's going to be, it should start leveling off and being much more flat. And I kind of think that we'll start seeing on the high end where it moves over into a buyer's market a little bit. But again, that's my crystal ball on that. So, questions from you guys? All right. That's my presentation. We're going to run around the horn here. We're going to let the branch managers speak really quickly for you here, kind of thing, and then I'll be here to answer any kind of questions. So, Wordsworth, you are up, my friend.
Oh. I need louder.
Now, if Noonan gets louder than this, I swear to God. If Airport is louder than that, I swear to God. Okay, hey everybody, Wordsworth here, Fayetteville branch manager. I'm really just here to talk about an upcoming class that we have. It's going to be with our lender, Nancy Barlow with New American Funding. It's the Blueprints New Construction Buyers Agency. So this class is basically about new construction and how it's on the rise and how you can get all these great deals on new construction, and it takes you through the entire process. Like Alan was talking about, a lot of people still want brand new houses. A lot of millennials, weirdly enough, want brand new houses. So this would be a great class to come to. They're going to go through the ins and outs, and New American is actually the preferred lender for a bunch of new builders. So they can get you in, get you some discounts, get your clients great houses. And that's going to be on the 21st here in Fayetteville. And it's from 9:30 to 12:30. Okay. And I just want to reiterate again that I'm here for all your video needs, photograph needs, all that. I can help you on marketing as well. Adrian also does marketing too. She does marketing for us, but I mean, I'm sure she can help y'all. But yeah, so just let me know. I'm here, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Me, Wordsworth, your branch manager. Who's next? I guess. So that's it. Okay, thank you. Bye. I mean, I don't know what y'all
Miss Taylor, I believe you are up.
Oh yeah. You hear that, Wordsworth? I'm just kidding. Can y'all hear me in the other offices? Can y'all hear me?
They missed our claps.
Look at that, look at that.
We gotta do that again? Yeah.
No. Can y'all hear me?
Bring it back.
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay, because I'm like, I need y'all to hear me. Anyway, but hi guys.
Morning.
Good morning. Okay, so my name is Taylor, for those who don't know. And I'm in the airport office. And I do the weekly newsletter every Monday. So if y'all aren't getting the newsletter, please let me know, because I know some people have unsubscribed, they're not getting it, or it's going straight to their junk mail. So if y'all aren't getting that, I need to know. So I really want you guys, it's good information to get, that is in the newsletter. And I know that we also have real estate backstory that is also attached on that newsletter too. And all that information that Alan just said is in real estate backstory. So it's good for you guys to have that as well. So also we have a CE class tomorrow for it's the art of home inspection, and it's at 9:30 to 12:30. And it's good because our sponsor today is the mold man. So if you do have a home inspection and they find this mold, then you'll be calling Miss Miranda. So yeah, so that is tomorrow, and it's sponsored by Dream Home Inspections. And Thursday, I do the Tech Thursday videos at 1 o'clock to 1:20. So there is a webinar as well. And I kind of give you guys little tips and tricks and like what is on KV Core and what is that about, like what features that they do have. And if y'all haven't seen some of the videos or check along, like I will email them out if you request them from me. But we do record each session, so I can email them out to you guys. And if you have any questions regarding KV Core, I will give you my best answer. But we do have the KV Core help desk, and I will also email that number out to you guys as well. I know I've said it in the last sales meeting, but if you have any like questions regarding KV Core, I appreciate y'all asking me so that I can actually turn that into a Tech Thursday, because maybe one question an agent has may be helpful to another one. But that is everything. If y'all need anything, I'm here, period. Okay, bye guys, bye.
Hey, good morning. Adrienne from Noonan.
Let's go, Adrian!
So we do have some classes coming up this week. Like Taylor mentioned, at the airport office, we have the home inspection class, which still has some room. So hop in there if you need the CE credit. The class we have here this week in Noonan is on the 16th. We do not have any more room, so please don't come if you're not registered. Sorry. But good news is that we already have the investing class scheduled 2 more times in July. July 14th in Conyers, and then the 28th in Carrollton. So go ahead and you can register for those classes, because it's a very popular, very good one that everybody wants to get into. Let's see. We have relaunch coming up the first 2 weeks of August. So if you have just gotten your license in the past year, you need your post license, the 25 hours. And we can take care of that in Conyers for the first 2 weeks of August with our relaunch classes. So be sure to go ahead and register for those. Let's see, we also have Code of Ethics coming up in Carrollton this month, next week, and also Mortgage 101 in Conyers. So be sure to hop on those. Go ahead and make plans now to attend the Tom Ferry Success Summit. It's always a good time in all of our offices. We live stream it in every office, and we have you know, just a good time, and we have good food, and it's kind of like an all-day thing. So that's coming up August 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So there was one more thing. Oh yeah, so like Wordsworth said, I do the marketing. Just wanted to encourage y'all to do some videos, do some live streaming on social. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be posted. That's all.
Hey, I'm Melissa. How you doing? Can they hear me?
Yes, it's up to you.
Okay, I want to welcome all the new agents to all the offices that have joined this month. We look forward to working with you at Maximum One. Thank you to my agents in McDonough who came out to support me for the sales meeting. Little bit about accounting and billing. Thank you people for working with me. I send out a lot of emails. If you have any questions, reach out to me, email me, call me. We can work anything out. If you have any questions, McDonough agents about anything, call me. I think that's all I have. Have some social stuff coming up. I'll blast that out to y'all. Everybody at all the branches are welcome to come, not just McDonough. And that's all I have. Martin.
All right. Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Martin, compliance. So just want to do a quick recap of last month's transactions. We had 93 closed transactions last month with a sales volume of about 30 million. So congrats. This month we have 13 closed transactions so far, so we're on our way. But just in general, in regards to compliance, paperless pipeline, a lot of you may have been receiving some messages from me. If there's something that's not clear, I do ask that just please feel free to reach out to me via phone, via email. I'm here to support you along the transaction process. We're also trying to do some cleanup on paperless pipeline as well. So if you do receive some messages from us in regards to some older files, we're just trying to do some cleanup. So if you could please get back to us in regards to what we're communicating to regarding an older transaction, we would greatly appreciate that. So I think that's it. So thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn. As everyone can tell, Martin is kind of taking my thunder now. But it's
I'm so sorry.
So basically what I do now is I just clean up the paperless stuff. So if you do, like Martin said, get an email from us on an old file, please get back to us because we follow up on those old files because we need that paperwork. It's stuff that we have to do to close the file out. So we will continue to send you emails about it. So please just get back to us so we can do one and done. And yeah, that's really all I have. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Nancy here in the Conyers office. We have 8 new hires for the month of May. We've added already for the month of June 6 new hires to all of our offices, with 3 more that have not been released yet from WEC or their previous brokerage. June the 22nd, we have a CE class, Mortgage 101 with Silverton Mortgage. Jamie Thompson will be teaching that. It'll be from 9:30 to 12:30. So please sign up on Eventbrite so we know how many to plan for with the sponsor. Our mentoring program has done really well. We have had 181 mentees year to date. We have had 97 mentees finish the program. Some have gone to do other things, but most have stayed in real estate and are doing extremely well. So we're really proud of them. Wednesday night, tomorrow night, Mark Brown is going to host a wind down Wednesday for all of the agents. So come and fellowship. If you're interested in coming, contact Mark Brown at 404-625-0776 or just give me a call. Yeah, just give me a call. That's right. So I'll be out of the office starting tomorrow and I'll return on the 30th. If you have any questions, you can contact me or Wordsworth. And please double check your credit card expiration dates. We have had several credit cards that have been on file that have expired, and the agent fees have been added up to a pretty big amount. So check your credit card if you're paying with the credit card for the expiration date. And so I do an inspiration every week here, every month, and this is my inspiration. There are so many things that are possible just as long as you don't know they're impossible. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Think left, think right, and think low, and think high. Oh, the things you can think of if only you try. All by Dr. Seuss. All right, Dean, you're up.
One second. Good morning, y'all. So let me show you our West Georgia agent. So anyway, I hope I didn't make you dizzy just a second ago, but anyways, we're very excited to have our first sales meeting here, and thank y'all for your participation. Makes me feel very welcome. We'll do it over and over again here. So overall, our sales meeting is basically to inform you guys and let you know what the market's doing. If y'all ever have any topic that you want us to elaborate, we would be more than happy to do that. And once again, to touch up on relaunch, for those of you that may know someone that's got their license, invite them, okay? Or a returning agent that hasn't had, you know, what I call real world experience in the last few years, invite them, okay? These are classes for them. So our goal truly is to educate the community, make you guys the best agent out there when you go out there. When you write a contract, they say, oh yeah, that's a maximum one contract, you know? So anyways, I know we harp on you guys quite a bit about dotting your I's, crossing your T's, but at the end of the day, it's because we in the back end have dealt with a lot of issues because we didn't dot our I and cross our T's. Okay, so we're just doing what we call preventive maintenance. There's never an issue until what? And money's involved. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're just preventing that. Without further ado, Alan, do you have the list of the awards for each location up on your system? I see it that you got in yours. Do you want to share your screen really quick? And I want to congratulate each one of you guys for being top producer. And this month, our little rookie here. Yeah. So $1.2 million. Congratulate you guys.
All right, but thank you all so much. We love and appreciate you. If I can be of any service, please let us know.